Hi. Okay, I ain't even looking at my saying, but I'm ready. Okay. Oh, this is the truth be told with myself, Tbeyb on KUAW radio. Okay, KUAW radio. I just noticed that my thing is backwards. I don't know how to fix it. uh, so KUAW radio, yes. If you're watching me live on Facebook, hey, and if you're listening to me over the air and you'd like to watch me live, hop over to our Facebook page, KUAW radio. Make sure if you have a business or an event that you'll like sponsor here on KUAW radio, make sure you send us an email, KUAW985@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us all across social media. That is YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, Instagram, all of them, KUAW Radio. Make sure to like and share our pages to your family and friends so they can all have access to the amazing content that we have here to offer on KUAW Radio. Okay, so again, this is Tuesday, 6 p.m. Truth be told with myself, Tbeyb. So let's see, where are we gonna start this off with? Oh, okay. So the Super Bowl. Glad the Rams won. Looked kind of rigged, but hey, it's a couple of calls that was a little shaky. You know, I didn't really watch it. I seen the highlights that they was talking about, but I didn't really watch the Super Bowl. I did watch the halftime show. The halftime show was everything. Okay. First of all, I know it's a lot of others really upset about the Super Bowl this year. And I mean others, I mean Europeans. I know that's really upset about the Super Bowl this year. And because it was kind of blackety black. Like, I don't even use the word black, but I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm talking about from the national anthem, the lift everything, the halftime show, like everything was just happy Black History Month. I guess I don't know, but yes. But I love the halftime show. I mean, hip hop is culture. My thing of it is they don't mind stealing from us or doing like cultural appreciation appropriation. Is that what I'm thinking of? I think so. When it comes to anything that we do, our music or anything like that, but when it's broadcasted for the world or for the the country or whatever, then it's somehow it's a problem or it's inappropriate or now Snoop was smoking weed on stage, but he's in LA, like it's legal. He wasn't doing nothing illegal because what I'm saying, it's legal. So I just yeah, it was pretty cool. I loved it. Everyone looked nice. They was talking about. I've seen people on Facebook or just social media afterwards talking about 50 Cent weight. Like y'all look the same from 10 years ago, because I know I don't. I mean, I look the same. I'm probably smaller, actually, to be honest. Bitch ain't nothing to even brag about, but yeah. So I liked it. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen like next year. And I'm really trying to see how long they gonna keep rolling with this home team, thing, because it's back to back or whatever. They done won, the home team didn't won back to back Super Bowls. I don't need to be on KUAW. Oops, sorry. So yeah, so that was interesting. Halftime Super Bowl. Okay, so next, I'm sorry, I gotta excuse me. I'm not even going front with y'all today. My mind is all over the place, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through this. So Shakara Richardson, right? Y'all remember Shakara Richardson? Her mom had passed away. She smoked some weed, took a drug test, got eliminated, couldn't run for the I believe that was the Summer Olympics, couldn't run, or couldn't participate in the Olympics and everything like that. So fast forward, here we have this little European Russian girl, Camilla. One, I like her name, but anyway, Camilla Valley something, I don't know. She's a figure skater. She got tested. She tested for some matter of fact. Let me go back to it so I can read it. And let me see, because I just saved this so I know so I can get back to it fast. Here we go. So she failed her drug test, but the Olympics, after sports highest court, ruled exceptional circumstances, which meant the 15-year-old would not be. Well, one, I didn't know she was 15. I was just not reading this or whatever and saying she was 15. Like, she might have been set up, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think in the comments, like what y'all think about the situation, because she was able to run. She failed the drug test because I guess she said she accidentally took one of her grandpa's heart medicine pills or something. But it showed up in the drug test because I don't know, it's a drug. So it showed up in the drug test. So they're gonna let her compete, but she won't be able to participate in the Holden medal ceremony if she places in the top 3. This situation. So she failed a pregame girl test after testing positive for a heart drug terminalized on December 25th at the Regional Nationals. However, the result of the test wasn't known until recently. Apparently, the court based their decision on Camilla's age. Athletes under 16 are reportedly get more rights under anti-doping rules than adult athletes. The case is under investigation, but Camilla will be allowed to compete if she places in the top 3. The Olympic Committee will not have a medal ceremony until the investigation is complete. So it's coming back up after Shakara was blocked from competing in the Tokyo Olympics last year after testing positive for a controlled substance. At the time, she was 21. So they're basically trying to say that it's an age thing. And that's what y'all seen the way I looked when I seen that 15, because that's probably what I kind of consider, because it's like, what drugs is a 15-year-old really gonna be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I guess 15-year-olds do drugs. So especially when you are competing on this type of level of doing things, parents be pushing, like, you know, so I guess it still is possible. She might have accidentally took the pill on accident, thought it was some Tylenol or something. She is 15. And you know, I don't know, it's like it's just touchy, because I didn't think, like, if Shakara, even with the testing positive for the THC, like, it's not a performance enhancing drug, but I guess it is still considered a drug and against the rules. And we gotta learn how to stop trying to get around the rules, you know what I'm saying, of things. And just, you know, I'm not just saying just blindly follow, you know, rules, but in certain circumstances, like, it just, you know, it's just that way. So let me see. I just want to, okay. Let me just speak from my heart. No, you know what I want to do? I want to break down the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation. And that should take up the show. Because I say that at the end of my shows. And I be wondering if people actually know what it is, what it means, where it comes from, or anything like that. So yes. So I'm gonna just break it down line by line. I probably should have went and got it. So I could. Oh, I might have it. Oh no, it's probably upstairs. Sorry. I said I probably should have went and got it so that I wouldn't butcher it up trying to do it line by line. I'm gonna have to say it a couple of times, y'all, just so I know what where I'm at in it, you know. Let me see. Okay, so one, the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation is a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America's Quran. It can be used as it's a covenant. Asiatic, a lot of people don't understand that at one point in time before, I don't know, probably, I can't tell you exactly what time frame in history that the land was, I know it's called back Pangea. They tell us Pangea now, like the land was all one mass. But according to some encyclopedias and things like that, like it was actually considered Asia. And that's where the term Asiatic comes from, of regarding our people. I believe I'm gonna have to look that up somewhere, but yeah, regarding our people, I wonder what the Google says about that real quick. Even though Google. Let's see, just real quick. I could go to the etymology. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I definitely don't like these lies, but those are more modern terms or whatever. So anyway, it's like referring to the original people, right? Original people. Y'all hear me say that all the time when talking about us, and as far as like original man and things like that. So it says, ye are the children of one father. That's pretty simple. Like, we should understand when it's that we all were created, what I'm saying, by the creator, basically. That's all it's saying. It's like we all are children of one father. Like we are all related in that substance, if not anything else, but first and foremost, we're all God's children, right? That's a better term to use that. You are children of one father. I should go get it. Let me see. You're children of one father. The breast of one mother have given me suck. Okay, so when it says the breast of one mother have given me suck, I take this as we are talking about Mother Earth. Like suck, when you think about suck, you kind of think about breastfeeding in a sense. And so like feeding and taking care of and nurturing, right? That is what the earth does for us. Like the earth feeds us, the earth breathes, we can breathe, the earth protects us, like everything like that. Like it's Mother Earth, And so yeah, the breast of my mother have given us suck. And it's just reminding you how we have to be able to I'll go into that at the end, like when I get done with all of it, because it'll be easier to understand what I'm trying to say once I get through the whole thing, if that makes sense. Okay, so your children, one father, and the rest of one mother have given you sex. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers. Okay, let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers. I gotta make sure I'm saying this right, y'all, because I cannot be butchering it up, trying to say it. It's easier when you say it all at once. And because I'm so used, I've been saying it for so long. Okay, so here we go. You're on the what? It went to Facebook? It really did. Okay, so you have children, one father provided for by his care. Okay, see, I already started messing up. You have children, one father provided for by his care. Oh, so provided for by his care, right? Because that care comes down in the end too, where it says, no, it says the support. Okay. Oh yeah, and his care be continued to you all. So it's just the care provided for by his care. So it's like we are able to function, but the abilities, like y'all hear me talk about how we are humans are different, set apart from animals and from a lot of other species. You know, we have thinking, willing, and reasoning, understanding, thinking, willing, reasoning, understanding, all those good things or whatever, right? So we have all those things, and we provided those things by the creator. You know what I'm saying? By God. Those no one else can take take accountability for that, or anything like that. So we, provided for by his care. That's the care, the being made in his image, being wonderfully made the way that we are, you know, to have the ability to thinking, willing, reasoning, understanding, like all things like that. You know, that's his care. It helps us function on this plane of manifest, right? It really function on all planes, function, period. The breasts of one mother have given us, we let that. So it says, let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. That's the universe, right? Our Father's house is the universe. We're not talking about no physical house, nothing like that. It says, let the bonds of affection, what is it? You know, that we're right there, affection. When I hear affection, I hear love, right? Treat everybody with love. Understand that you are connected. Everything is connected. We are one. So you gotta look at everyone else. You got to look at everyone else that way as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at everyone else like you treat people different when you consider them like a brother or a sister. You treat people different. You got to remember that bond that we have, that bond that holds us. It's not a that holds us together, that unites thee, you know what I'm saying, with our brothers, so that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. So we're talking about peace and we're talking about happiness. So not going out there robbing. Think before you rob or take or kill, or you know what I'm saying, like all those type of things. You have to think about those things before you inflict these actions on another person. If you look at that person as your brother, then you will more than likely be less likely to do some of the things that, you know, we do to each other. So we don't have a lot of peace right now on earth. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of peace in, you know, in our things because of a lot of ways that we in our nation, because of a lot of ways that we interact with each other. You know, and it's crazy because we fall into the stereotype of a belief in what everybody else believes around us, and then we start acting like that, though, acting like those things, and then and we look at each other like that. You know how many people like, oh, I don't go to Black owned establishments, I don't like this, I don't like that, the customer service be this, but you will go back to McDonald's they mess up your order, you know what I'm saying? You'll go back to McDonald's, like Chick-fil-A probably don't mess up no orders, but you know what I'm saying? Restaurants, you didn't have some bad experience at some restaurants before, I'm pretty sure you probably went back, but we hold our own people to a different standard. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of the way that we look at each other. So there's no peace amongst our nation. There's no happiness. There's no connection, no ties amongst our nation because of the way that we view each other. And so if we view each other differently as brothers and sisters, then hopefully we will think more before we do some of the things that disrupt the peace and the happiness in the universe. Because that's where it says, dwell in our Father's house. It says, and when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bonded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before their own blood. Now y'all gonna y'all ain't, all right. This one right here. Oh, okay. This line right here, when you separate in the world, you got to understand that when we talk about this Asiatic Holy Covenant Asiatic nation, we're going back to original man. I know a lot of times people's minds cannot fathom going back or even thinking to the point of, there was a time that people were dwelling on this earth and there were no oceans. You know what I'm saying? There were oceans, they were just surrounded by a whole bunch of water, but like the continents, you know what I'm saying? They weren't there, you know, all this land was one, you know? And so there were people here then too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when we separate in the world, we're all over the world. You got to understand, our people, we are all over the world. Most histories, if you go back in most histories, the further you go back, the darker it gets. The further, you're going to find us. You know what I'm saying? All of it originated from us. Like, no matter what it looks like today, when we look at like Arabs and things like that, a lot of this is because of mixing of Europeans. You know what I'm saying? That, not watered down the bloodline, but kind of watered down the bloodline. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It lightened up the bloodline or whatever. Even though we're all, that's not even, has nothing to do with nothing. So we are all just, we can do any shade, really. And so when it says, and prefer not a stranger before their own blood. See, a lot of people don't understand that. I gotta quit saying that. I didn't say that a lot. Okay, so remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity. So again, it goes back to viewing each other in the light of brothers and sisters, and that love for each other, dwelling on the energy of love and uniting with one, sticking together. Our people, it's crazy because we have this. We have this stuff is not new. You know what I'm saying? This stuff was revealed to us. This stuff was not new. It wasn't created. So we had this information, been having this information, everything like that. And yet when people look at our nation, they say we are the most like ununified nation. Like, we are not unified at all with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't stick together. We don't stick together. And when you don't stick with your own kind, you know what I'm saying? When you don't stick with your own kind, then you allow outsiders to come in and disrupt what you have, disrupt the bond that you have with your people, right? So yeah, and so when you separate the world, love, unity, and prefer not a stranger before their own blood. Now, when it says prefer not a stranger before their own blood, this is not saying don't be with other people, don't talk to other people or associate with other people or anything like that. But what this says prefer, it says not prefer a stranger before their own blood. Now, see, when I look at that, that says to me, I'm sorry, I'm not racist, but it tells me to like Europeans, because that's what happened to our people. We started preferring what the European, it's still done today. We were just talking about it on the last show. Like, we started to prefer what the European had, or what the European was presenting, or what the European declared as good. You know what I'm saying? We started to prefer those things over our own people, even with religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with religion, we started to prefer other strangers before our own blood, like our own bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like, we messed up somewhere. So I say this to, I'm probably gonna get done with this before I actually go on break. So it says, if our brothers in adversity, assist him. If our sisters in trouble, forsake her not. Again, this is just telling us how to interact with each other. It's just a prayer of how we should all interact, hopefully how we could all be one day unified in peace and harmony as one nation, and rise up again to the people that we really are. And to who we are destined to be, what's in our blood. So it's like, when you see your brother in adversity, don't degrade him, don't tear him down, don't, help him out. If our sister's in trouble, forsake her not. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, be helpful, be loving, be kind, be caring. These are your people. Somehow, even if they just because they don't share your last name, you know what I'm saying? But as original men, we are all each other's people. And we have to view each other like that. And we have to love each other like that. And we have to treat each other like that, assist each other like that, help each other like that. We have to help each other like we're all connected. Like, we are one big happy one big family, because we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole Holy Covenant is to get us to get in our minds in a family state of mind, because when you have a family state of mind, there are certain things that you're not going to do. There are certain ways that you're not going to move. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to do certain things to your family members. You hold them on a high, you hold them at a higher standard at a different point. Some people, not all. You know what I'm saying? Not all. But just imagine if you thought about everyone as your brother or sister, everyone as your family. Like it said at the original man, we're all related at somehow down the line. The further back you go, the more related you're going to get to somebody. Period. You can't go back that far though. We can't go back to original man. We can't go back to Pangea days, and you know what I'm saying, when time wasn't even measured. Like we can't go back that far. So, but we know. History tells us. It says, so shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. This is the most important verse of this holy covenant, because I should have went into what a covenant actually is. Do you guys even know what a covenant actually is? Put that in the chat, in the messages, comments, chats, whatever. And just let me know. So it says, so shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. See, it's done through man through man, because it said in your love to each other. The love that you express to another human being is the love of God, right? It's the love of the Father. You know what I'm saying? That's how he contributes to support. That's how he contributes, his care continues on to us. You know, one of the ways, it's our love for each other. Right? And once we really understand the frequency of love and moving out of love and talking to people in love, correcting people in love, like everything that you do out of your higher self, and you don't let anyone, like just bring you down or anything like that, like you just don't do that, right? But so it's like anytime that you do that, you are showing love to another person. You are giving an expression of God. You know what I'm saying? You're giving an expression of God himself when you do those type of things, right, Amber? When you love each other like that, when you look at your brother like that, when you talk to your sister like that. And I'm just saying random, not physically just your brothers or sisters, but just like people that you see, on the streets. It's like this the things that you do when you help an old lady in her car with her groceries or things like that. Just the love, the frequency of love will change your life. Once you start, y'all gotta read The Secret. Once you start vibrating on the frequency of love, your law of attraction, your life, like everything just really starts to smooth sails. Like you are manifesting like crazy, but you got to be on that frequency of love. You got to be on that frequency of love. It don't work. No, it works other ways, but it's harder. I work smarter, not harder. Right. So it definitely works other ways, but it's harder. Was that all of it? I believe that was it. So yeah. So to me, it's important that I say it like a prayer. I say like a prayer over my people at the end of my show every time, just for anyone that's hearing it or anything like that. I say it at a prayer when I'm with my family and things like that. I say it as a prayer. They ask me to say the prayer, I'm gonna say the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. You know what I'm saying? But sorry, I said as a prayer to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because just trying to cover our people. Positivity, put the energy out there, put the vibrations out there. Also as a reminder, it's just saying how we should treat each other. It's really like a wish, it's really like a wish, because then you I don't know, then it's like I said, peace and happiness. You know what I'm saying? You have peace and happiness in the universe. Like, can you imagine the universe, peace and happiness? Like, what? No turmoil? I don't even know if that's possible. Like, people probably don't even think that's possible. It probably was like that at some point in time. For when I took them out from cages. No, just playing. Anyway, I gotta take a break. It's about that time. I kind of want to end the show here. No. But yeah, let's take a break.
We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
Robert Clifton Weaver, the first African American to be appointed to a U.S. cabinet level position. He served as
We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
Robert Clifton Weaver, the first African American to be appointed to a U.S. cabinet level position. He served as Secretary of Housing and Development in the LBJ White House. He was an economist, academic, and political administrator when the Department of Housing and Development, HUD, was newly established by President Johnson. Prior to his appointment as a cabinet officer, Weaver had served in the administration of President Kennedy. In addition, he'd served in New York State government and in high-level positions in New York City. During the Franklin Roosevelt administration, he was one of 45 prominent African Americans appointed to positions and helped make up the Black Cabinet, an informal group of African American public policy advisors. Weaver directed federal programs during the administration of the New Deal, at the same time completing his doctorate in economics in 1934 at Harvard University. Robert Weaver was born December 29, 1907, into a middle-class family in Washington, D.C. His parents were Mortimer Weaver, a postal worker, and Florence Freeman Weaver. They encouraged the boy in his academic studies. His maternal grandfather was Dr. Robert Tanner Freeman, the first African American to graduate from Harvard in dentistry. The young Weaver attended the M Street High School, now known as the Dunbar High School. The high school for blacks at a time of racial segregation had a national reputation for academic excellence. Weaver went on to Harvard University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science and Master of Arts degree. He also earned a Ph.D. in economics, completing his doctorate again in 1934. Later that year, Weaver was appointed an aide to United States Secretary of the Interior. In 1938, he became a special assistant to the United States Housing Authority. In 1942, he became administrative assistant to the National Defense Advisory Commission, the War Manpower Commission, 1942, and director of Negro Manpower Service. With a reputation for knowledge about housing issues, in 1934, he was invited to join President Franklin Roosevelt's Black Cabinet. Roosevelt appointed a total of 45 prominent blacks to positions in executive agencies and called on them as informal advisors on public policy issues relating to African Americans, the Great Depression, and the New Deal.
You're invited to celebrate Black History Month with TNCRadio.live. We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be. We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
Yes, Virginia, there really was a Bridgerton. The Netflix series about a biracial queen has a royal underlying backstory. Sophia Charlotte, born May 19, 1744, and lived to be 74, was the queen consort of the British King George III from their marriage on September 8th in 1761 until her death in 1818. As George's wife, she was also Electress and later Queen of Hanover and Queen of America when the United States was ruled by England. On her wedding day, Charlotte spoke no English. However, she quickly learned English, albeit speaking with a strong German accent. Queen Charlotte was a direct descendant of Margarita de Castro e Souza, a black branch of the Portuguese royal house. Several de Souzas traveled to the Netherlands when their cousin, the Princess Isabella, went there to marry the Grand Duke, Philip the Good of Burgundy, in 1429. Charlotte was a patron of the arts and an amateur botanist who helped expand Kew Gardens.
We're shining a long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions. A long overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights. Overdue spotlight on the hidden figures of untaught history who deserve to be celebrated for their contributions to civil rights, politics, the arts, and beyond.
The short film Something Good, Negro Kiss, was made in 1898. Early commercial films often depicted minstrel shows until vaudeville acts overtook them in popularity. An African American appeared in narrative film at least as early as 1909, which is also the year that Sigmund Lubin produced the comedy series using a black cast and the derogatory title Sambo. Before then, film roles for black actors were played by white actors in blackface. Sam Lucas became the first black actor to be cast in a leading role in a mainstream film, appearing in the 1914 film Uncle Tom's Cabin. The Peter P. Jones Film Company was established in Chicago and filmed vaudeville acts and the 1915 National Half-Century Exposition in Lincoln Jubilee. William D. Foster's The Foster Photoplay Company in Chicago was one of the earliest studios to feature African Americans. Casts for his films included performers from stage shows at Robert T. Mott's Pekin Theater. The Lafayette Players and the Ethiopian Art Theater had several players who crossed over into filmmakers, too.
The source, the source, the source from the inkwell. If it is written, it can be taught. With an open mind, there's always knowledge ready to be caught. I'm Tyrone Gathers Jr., and this show is just for you. This show is just for us. This show is for our community. This show is about the source. What are we reading? What are we learning? And who are we learning it from? The source from the inkwell, where education invades the radio station. The source from the inkwell, Tuesday nights at 6:30, right here on KUAW.
Be told, now
Come and check out the source.
Okay, so we're having a little technical difficulties with this video right now, even though I switched my thing back. I'm gonna go ahead and end the Truth Be Told for this Tuesday. Ask that you guys make sure to stay tuned, type in for the source of the
We're
equal
shining
coming
a
up
long
next.
overdue
The Lene Gray Show
spotlight on the
comes
hidden
on
figures of
tonight.
untaught history
Like,
who deserve to be
share our
celebrated for
pages
their
and our
contributions.
videos, and I already said the Holy Covenant Asiatic Nation for today, so I'm just gonna say peace.